know, it's great to see a crowd like this. We haven't had a crowd like this for several years, and I think it has something to do with the fact that there's a rumor out there that Bill's got a pretty good team this year. Some pretty good young players. This guy truly needs no introduction. Everywhere you go in the state of Kansas, people love Bill Self. They think he is fabulous, and he is fabulous. He's a great coach. He's a great guy. He is an enormous credit to the University of Kansas. We're lucky to have him. Come on up there, Bill.
Thanks, Jeff. You read that exactly as I had written it for you. It's very nice. So, hope everybody's doing well today. I'm excited to be here and to echo Bonnie's remarks. Come watch the women play. They're going to be fast and good. And you know, the thing about it is with young teams, you get a chance to watch them grow and enjoy the process. And I'm sure that this will be a fun team to watch grow and come together. And hopefully our team will be fun also. If just to follow up on what she said, you know, this is, you know, Jeff said this, there's more people here today, which is pretty much indicative of the way our preseason and off-season has been, because there seems to be more people interested in our program right now than maybe there ever has been since I've been there. I think I don't know how you feel, there's kind of an anticipation, and the interest level appears to be very, very high. But we've had like 5 teams preseason ranked better than this one. I don't know why you guys are so excited. Finally, you just caught on that I'm really fun to watch coach, I guess. So, I'm joking. But you know, going back to last year's team, when we were here last year, I was probably pretty nervous that we wouldn't be very good. You lose Thomas and Ty, and you're relying on some kids that have never ever carried the water, so to speak, and then you got a young freshman that, you know, he's talented, but how good will he be for us? And you know, those guys end up playing very, very well. And the thing, last year's team, I said this the other day, last year's team lost 6 games, which I know it's 6 more than we should have, but it was 6 games, but really it was basically 4 more than we should have. You know, we had Michigan down 8 with 2 left. We had Michigan State down 4 under 4. We had Oklahoma State down 4 under 4. The Oklahoma game was a coin flip game that could have gone our way. We got it handed to us twice last year. Baylor, the last game of the regular season, and TCU beat us up pretty good. We didn't have a chance to win that game. And somebody even made some idiotic comments after the game that was the worst performance in the history of Although, if you looked in my office, just know the first ball next to my desk, we have some of the best wins, like the first win, the 100th, the 500th, the 1000th, the 11th, 100th, the 1200th. All these balls are these, you know, those nice balls that they paint on and all that stuff. Our first win ever was against, you know who, don't you? Topeka YMCA. and Dr. Naismith did get his butt kicked by Topeka YMCA. So I thought it was a really well thought out comment. Nobody else thought it found humor in it, but I did. But you know, Elijah's in Poland. He's doing fine. Travis is probably doing the best of any of them that are overseas. He's kind of like an angel right now. He's in Belgium, but he's having a great experience. Got his son over there with him. They're having a great time. And Kevin's in Puerto Rico, his home country. And so those guys are all doing well. Jeff is fighting for minutes with the Pelicans, as you guys know. He's playing every game, but he's, you know, 2 to 4 to 6 minutes a game. And that's fine, you know, because he's used to that. He didn't play but 2 to 4 to 6 with us when he first got there. And then of course, Ben is I think, on the cusp of having a big year. I'll be really surprised if Ben doesn't average 12, 13 points a game by February. Last night, I think he had 17, and he's going to get it. I mean, he looks so good when he plays with our guys. I can't believe how much he's improved. So those guys are all doing well, and then when you replace those guys, you got to count on your returning guys to play well. And I did something this morning, and it's really true. I hadn't really thought about it, but we basically returned 5 players. We returned Naadir, and you guys think Naadir's improved? I mean, it's amazing. We returned Perry. You think Perry's improved? It's amazing. We returned Jamari. Has Jamari improved? Unbelievable. And what about Andrew White? Has he improved? And then Landon Lucas, who you didn't see last year, has improved maybe more than any of them. You just don't know it because you didn't see him last year like we did. But it's, for us to have a good year, our returning guys need to deliver and not put so much pressure on our young kids, even though, we consider Perry the veteran, and he's played 35 games and he averaged 5 points a game. So that's what we're banking our best returning player averaged 5 points a game. So it's a totally different look, but those guys have all gotten better. And I'm really proud of them. They've worked hard and gotten better, put themselves in a position to play a big role with our team. And then we had the fortune of having a pretty good recruiting class. And really, you get 2 transfers. One you won't see till next year, Hunter Mickelson, which he'll be a really nice player for us. And Tarik Black, to me, has been as pleasant a surprise as we've had. He's important, and he's been a great leader for us. And then you signed 6 freshmen, one of them homegrown right here in Connor, that arguably, next to Greg Early's recruiting class, because Greg was the keynote player in that class. This has a chance to be as good a recruiting class as we've had, for sure since I've been there. And you guys know all the names and everything. It's amazing. Coach talks about the TSA, asking about the twins. The male attendance will definitely be improved because all my players will definitely be at the games too. But when you stop and think about everybody knowing the twins, every time I turn on TV, I turn on SportsCenter, and who are they talking about? The guy makes one basket. All we can talk about is Andrew, and Andrew this and Andrew that. But if you guys, hopefully you'll get a chance to know him, even if he's not going to be in school forever, you know that. But hopefully you'll get a chance to know him, because I don't know if I've ever been around a more humble kid that wants no part of it. And it's been pretty cool to watch. But the attention he's gotten has brought so much attention to us. And we've benefited from him so much because it's helped us with recruiting and all that stuff, because we're out there on the front page with everybody right now. And so it's been exciting. It's been exciting. Joel Embiid's going to be good. Wayne Selden's going to be good. Brandon Green's got unbelievable talent. And of course, Connor can shoot as well as anybody. And I don't know what you think, but our little stocky little point guard has a chance to be terrific. So it's going to be a fun group to be around. And I'm really excited about it. Certainly, it will be a team that's not very good early, and I don't say that sarcastically. Hopefully the teams we play won't be very good early, because we won't be. I don't see how you can be, but if you watched us last night, a little bit better rhythm. Instead of playing 10 good minutes, we probably played 15 or 20 good minutes yesterday, and did some good things. And if we can get young kids to act like they're not young, we're going to end up being pretty good. And that's an easy task, as you guys all know as parents. So if you have any questions for me, I'll be more than happy to ask or answer whatever you have. Yes.
We all love watching the way teams play defense. How do you think the new in-check rule is going to affect the way you guys guard?
Shouldn't affect us much, because in 6 weeks we haven't got close enough to guard anybody. You know what? I don't think it's good. I wish we would have. I'm not saying I have the answers, because if it's better for the game, then all coaches should be for it over time. But it seemed like to me, if we want more points, then create a situation where you get more shots. And there's many ways you could do that. All we did was just prolong the games, and you're going to watch 2.5-hour games now, and it's going to be a fragmented game. There's not going to be up and down 3 times with no stoppage. It's going to go down, stop, back, and stop. And last night it took 28 seconds before we committed our first foul. And the only reason it took that long is because we had the ball first. So it's going to be interesting. But you know what? Over time, kids will adjust, and coaches will adjust, and I don't think that we'll. I thought all along this could be our best defensive team. I'm not feeling that at all right now. I'm not feeling it. I don't think that we are tough enough yet. I don't think we understand well enough yet. I think by Christmas we could be exceptional defensively, but right now it's more of a work in progress than what I thought it probably would be going into the season. Yeah. What's the strategy? Gosh, Shesky's son-in-law down here. I'll be real candid with you. I hadn't looked at Duke. One of my good friends, you guys heard of Drury College in Springfield? Well, Drury won the national championship last year in Division II. And one of my good friends is the head coach, and Duke plays the Division II winner national champion in one of their we play the two local teams. That's one of their exhibition games, and they played them. They actually had Duke down 4.5. Drury did the other night. Ended up getting me 20 or something like that. But obviously they'll be really, really good. And they have one freshman that will contribute in a big way. He's terrific. And then the rest of the team is pretty experienced. I mean, they return a lot of guys that played a lot of minutes and started a lot of games. And so they're not as big. They're probably a little quicker on the perimeter. So we'll have to find a way to hopefully negate quickness and throw the ball inside. I mean, that's not telling anything. But I really don't know what our game plan or strategy will be. But I'll say this with you. I'm a little different. I think all basketball coaches are different football coaches, because if you lose in week 1 in football, it could be over for you if you have the high plans, the BCS plan. In basketball, it's not like that. I mean, hey, we got handed it to us by Kentucky first game, and we end up being a 2 seed, and then we get handed to us by Michigan State last year, and we end up being a 1 seed. So there's plenty of time to catch up. So I don't think that we'll play different against Duke than what I think that we'll need to play to win in January and February. So, because with young kids, it's hard to change. It's hard to change on the fly and say, okay, this game we're going to do this, and that game we're going to do that. That's not how we do it. We're going to do the same thing every game. And I hate to say this, but it's kind of like, hey, make them figure us out rather than us figure them out. But obviously it'll be a great game, great for college basketball this season. It'll be terrific. Yeah.
Are you looking at having to redshirt anybody with all the talent and minutes?
Yeah, that's a great question. He asked if we're looking to redshirt anybody, and I say we're looking. I'm not sure we will. And I look at it kind of different than maybe like Tyrell Reed was the biggest mistake we made. Tyrell Reed could not impact that national championship team in a big way, so we should have redshirted. And God, he turned out to be a good player, and I wish we had him another year. But he wanted to be a part of that team because that team had something. He wanted to be a part of something maybe that was special. And you look at this team right now, the guys that would be candidates, I think, would be guys that can all help us win 4 or 5 games this year. And so I don't know what we'll do. But if you don't do it, then you're going to, if you don't have unbelievable kids and unbelievable chemistry, you're going to deal with some internal issues. Because, all of them were the best in their area or their state or their region when they played high school ball. And to go to a place and not be able to at least impact it in some way consistently, I think can create, frustration, that kind of stuff. So I don't know. It's a good problem to have, but it's also could be a problem if we don't handle it right. So that's one of the things that we've got to really get right because, and like I told the group media this other day, in practice it's great because everybody plays in practice. You got 6 guys on each team, and they all want to sub. And you get in the game, you got 5, and then nobody wants to sub. And so there's 7 guys that basically get a chance to play every possession in practice. And I said this other day, it's like Greg was at KU. He got to play in practice all the time. He's never got the game. But that'll be a struggle for us. Yes, ma'am.
Of all of the KU players that you have personally recruited, which one exceeded your expectations the most?
Oh, there's been a ton. Darnell Jackson, Sasha Khan, Brady Morningstar, Tyrell Reed, Jeff Withy, Kevin Young. Yeah, was good. We were trying to encourage him to leave. After a few practices, and he turned out to be great. But there's been many guys like that that have just turned out to be great players. And the thing about it is, hopefully there's a culture to get better, but those guys, they pay their dues, and they just end up getting better. But there's been several. And there'll be somebody in this recruiting class, too. Naadir Tharp's going to be one of those guys. We recruited Naadir. I'll tell you why we signed Naadir. I thought he was a really nice kid, and I hadn't been to his home yet or anything, but we signed him because on his visit, he wore a tie. I'm thinking to myself, hey, people on campus are going to love him. And that's why we signed him. And you know what? Because we could have taken somebody else, but that was the determining factor. I mean, how many kids would feel comfortable with themselves and want to make such a great first impression, they would wear a tie getting off the plane? And that's why we took him. So there's always somebody like that. And there'll be somebody like that in this class too. Yeah.
Who are the guys that are playing pro now are you staying in touch with on a regular basis? And is there any future for Ron Burgandy for you?
I am kind of a big deal. Those things that we did, that was a joke if nobody knows what I'm talking about. Those things that we do, it's actually fun because you can actually be stupid, and it's okay to be stupid that way. So that was actually a fun deal we did, that Ron Burgandy skit. But we stay in touch. Not everybody stays in as good a touch as others, but I'd say we stay in touch with pretty much everybody. I hadn't talked to Brandon in a while. Last time I talked to Brandon, he was still doing his rehab, and he just got cleared to play. So I need to touch base with him. But the other guys, Thomas, he's doing fine. Thomas is in a good spot. If Thomas just learns to play with energy and rebound the ball and not worry about scoring, he can play in the league forever. But the problem is, see, this is one thing that happened, the difference between college and pro. If you bear with me for a second. Thomas Robinson needs to play in the pros like he played as a freshman and sophomore in college. Because the way he played as a junior when he was second in the nation, most valuable player and player of the year, he can't play that way in the pros because all the teams have better players that they have those guys that are the best players play that way. So he's got to buy into scoring off of other people's plays as opposed to anybody ever running a play for him. And that's where it gets different because just because you do good at this level doesn't translate you automatically do good at that level. And if Thomas, we talked about this, Thomas knows. He's in such a good spot now because all they want to do is just run, rebound, and play with energy. And that's what he does best. And so a guy like Thomas could have a breakout year. And of course, Mario's doing terrific. And Shady's done really, really well. He's in Denver now. The Twins are I guess, behaving in Phoenix. But for the most part, those kids are all doing Yes. We've got one commitment, and I'm anticipating losing 3, but I don't know who. But that's what we recruited to lose. So if we could sign 3, I think that'd be a great number. If we sign 2, that'd be fine too. If we sign 1, the kid that we got committed, I can't comment on him, but we're excited about that. But we're in the game on some guys, as you probably know since you asked the question. So we're in the game on some guys, but the competition's pretty stiff. Yeah.
Do you do your non-conference scheduling personally, or do you have input on that?
I don't do it personally. But unfortunately, I know you're looking at, well, you're not very smart if you do. And if you have input, you're even dumber. But I do have input, and I signed off on everything. So, yeah.
Team chemistry. You're obviously very good at building team chemistry, and it's obviously very important. Really good team. I'm just curious how one and dones fit into that.
Oh, the one and dones are, Xavier Henry may be the best kid we've ever had. The sweetest kid ever. Big McLemore, 12. And Andrew Wiggins may be sweeter and nicer than both those guys. So the guys like that, I think, think Andrew Wiggins will be as well liked in our locker room as anybody we've ever had. Players love him. And he's a good teammate, and he gets it, and he just wants to be a kid. But, you know, I don't quite buy it. Now, do you want 5 of them? No. But why wouldn't you want to have the best players? I've never understood that. Why people say, well, you don't want that. Jeez, they're going to leave after a year. Yeah, after we won a hell of a lot of games. So I don't understand that. So I don't think you can have 5. But if we recruited well enough to have 5, we'll deal with it. But what happens is, and this has happened in Kentucky, Kentucky gets a lot of credit for doing a great job, which they have, but the people that are recruiting for Kentucky in large part are the ones that have been there and left, because everybody wants to go to a place where it's been proven that they do these things. And so that's one reason why I think we're in the game with a lot of kids, is because Wiggins went here. So if it's somebody else next year, if we're able to get a one-and-done guy, he's going to recruit the next one-and-done guy. Because that's where kids want to go. They want to go the best places. And I may be wrong, but I think getting the players is the most important part, and then getting them to buy in and all that stuff, obviously, is, you can't win it all without really, really, really good players. Okay, understand? Or you can't be a great team without really good players, but you can't win it all unless you have intangibles, like what you're talking about. But I think that's the difference between being good and great and everything, is figuring out a way to mesh it and put it together. And you know, I'd much rather have a talented team that struggles with chemistry than have a team that can't play that really likes each other. So we'll figure it out one way or another. Yeah.
Are we going to win another Big 12?
You know, I don't know. That's our goal, to win one, and there'll be some teams that feel like that they definitely have the abilities to win it, which is true. Oklahoma State's loaded, and Baylor's going to be really good, and so and there's other teams in our league too that'll be good. But you know, I think if things fall right and that kind of stuff, then I can't understand why we can't be right in the mix to play for it. So, yes.
What's your opinion of the one and done rule?
I think it's a bad rule, because I don't think kids should have to go to college. I think there should be some committee in place, and if they're projected to be this, then I don't understand why families wouldn't be allowed to go do what they do, chasing their dream like everybody else has. So I think if you eliminated where there's an age limit, if you eliminated that, then you wouldn't have one and dones, because all the one and done kids would leave out of high school, and then the kids that you'd be coaching in college wouldn't be projected to be one and done, so they'd end up staying 2, 3, or 4 years. So, but I think it's a bad rule, and I think we need to adjust it for a lot of reasons. And the biggest reason is, from an appearance academically, it's not a good rule. The way the NCAA rules are set up, with the kid stays 1 year, he can pass 6 hours a day and go through towards anything, and play the whole year and help you win big, and that's all you get out of school. Now, that won't happen under 99%, but the one time it does happen, it'll give college basketball a black eye. That'll be too big to recover from immediately. So, 2 more. Yeah, yes, sir. Coach B.
To follow up on the redshirt question, where do you see Connor Frankamp's role this year?
Connor?
Yeah.
I think he's going to have a role. You know, he shoots it better than anybody. He's small, and sometimes you don't think that he's small until he plays against big guys. And with us, we're big because we're 6'5" and 6'7" on the wings, and that's who he's playing against. So, but I love his attitude. He's tough. He's got that inward confidence / cockiness that everybody wants, and it's just a matter of time before he gets really comfortable and he can help us in a big way. But there's other guys that can help us too, so it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out on minutes and that kind of stuff. And that alludes to the chemistry question, because if I'm a player and I know that I'm going to get my 8 to 12 minutes a game, whatever it is, I can prepare for that. It's hard when one game you don't get any, and the next game you may get 17, the next game you don't get any. And that's the kind of stuff that I think that we have to kind of iron out as coaches, and what our vision is, because he can certainly help us win some games this year. But to know his role right now, it's too early. One more, yeah.
Now, when
My players are hoping they go back to the volleyball uniforms. We do, like Bonnie said, we appreciate everybody and what you've done. You know, Buford's over here. I don't know if everybody knows Bob and Martha Buford. They played a huge role in my adult life and with their family. And of course, there's been so many, John T. and company, there's been so many people that's been so good to us. And we appreciate the opportunity to come down here and be with you. The last thing is it's great because we got a lot of people here. So that way we can hopefully raise even more money than what we've done in the past. But you know, you can't come to a KU function without being hit up. You guys should know that before you signed up to come. But we have a deal that our players do for families that maybe won't have the opportunity to have a Christmas the way that all of us hope that our kids would have. And so what we do is we take wish list, Christmas lists from families, and our players actually go take the list and they prioritize because they have a budget and how much they can spend on each person in the family, and we go buy their Christmas food. And the way we do this, we do it through my foundation, but we also do it through the Roundball clubs. And so if you guys feel led today, you don't have to by any means, but if you feel led today to drop any money in the bag that Megan has up here, then that would go a long ways in providing maybe 40 families at Christmas that would have that same opportunity. So, hey, thank you very much. Enjoy the night.